Today, my friends, we are learning the other parts of our linear equation. But before anything, tell me, what did we do yesterday? What? Which was what? What were we finding?
Slope.
Yes. If you recall, we were going over y equals mx plus b, and I said this is your best friend. Do you remember what y equals mx plus b is? The overall equation. What is this? So this is your best friend. I said, yeah? Yeah, it's a linear equation. This is the equation for every single line on a graph, right? Then I said, what is m? What is m? Slope. That's what we did yesterday. We found it both visually and mathematically, right? What was the b? Huh?
Oh, y-intercept, y. Sorry.
Y-intercept. Right? Guess what we're doing today? The y-intercept. We are now gonna learn how to find the y-intercept both graphically, again, and mathematically. And then with these two new skills that you now have in your life of finding the m and finding the b, both graphically, both mathematically, you will be able to find and write out the final linear equation of every single line that I throw at you. You'd be able to write out the y equals mx plus b. So are we ready to learn how to solve the b?
Sure.
My trusty coordinate plane. Okay, here we have a line. Now the question is, what is the b of this line? I'm not asking for the slope. I'm asking for the b. What's the b? The y-intercept. What's the y-intercept of the line? Don't know what that means? Let me explain it to you. The y-intercept of the line is pretty simple. It's the point in which this line right there crosses the y-axis. So when does this line cross the y-axis? Right there? What number was it? B equals 2. Boom, you're done. We're done. You found it. Okay, so you ready for the practice problems?
Yep,
that's the y-intercept. That's the y-intercept. That is how you find the y-intercept, aka the b, visually. When you're given a graph and you could clearly see that it crosses a point, that's your b. Right? How do we find it mathematically, though? So let's say a line is not quite so visibly, you can't really see it cross a perfect point. What are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing. That's the problem. Boom. Okay. Okay. This is another line, right? Where's the y-intercept at? Okay, between the 0 and 1? Good. It's good, right? So we know we can visibly see it. It's right there. We know it's in between 0 and 1. It's not quite towards the middle if you really look at it. So we can't even say it's 0.5. We can't even say that. For all we know, it's 0.42136 or 0.41233. For all you know, you could be off by a little bit, right? That's where math comes into play, because math is beautiful. That's what it does. We could solve stuff, right? So, we're having difficulty here. We can't find our b. We got to use mathematics. This is what you must do. Do you remember how to find the slope of a line? In order to find the slope, you need what? 2 points. I'm going to repeat that word for word. In order to find the slope, you need 2 points. You might want to write that down. Yeah, a little note. Yeah. Quiz tomorrow. It's up to you guys. Quiz tomorrow. In order to find the slope, you need 2 points. You pick the 2 points, rise over run, focus on your directioning, boom, boom, rise over run, that's your slope, right? We did that yesterday. We're kings and queens on finding slopes. Now, how do you find the b mathematically? Well, what do you need to find the b? You need, at minimum, you need your slope, and at minimum, 1 point. So in order to find the b, aka y-intercept, you need your slope and you need 1 point. At minimum 1 point. You don't need to like the slope. Technically you kind of do in order to find the slope, but whatever. You just need 1 at least. And your slope. Why? I'm going to show you how this works. You ready? So here we're given a line. We can't see the y-intercept. So let's find our slope first. Let's find the slope of this line. Tell me, where are the points at? Tell me when to stop. Right there. Okay. Find me my other one. Tell me when to stop. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a little, it looks a little off, right? But that's human error on my part. That was human error on my part. But that's still a line, right? Real graphs, on the real quiz or the real wall map and whatnot, it's all digitally made. You'll see it perfect. But whatever. Those are your 2 points, right? Okay, what's my rise over run? Well, if you want to start on this one, go for it. I don't care. 1, 2. Did you fall or did you rise? -2. 1, 2, 3. Is it positive or negative? That's your slope, right? Good. Good, good, good. You found your slope. Now what you do is you literally pick one of your points, write out its ordered pair. Do you remember that from Monday? As in -2/3. Remember that. Okay. So, one of these points, write me out its point, its ordered pair. Whichever one, it doesn't matter. You want to go with this one? Go for it. This one is -4. 3, right? There's my point. right? There is my point. You now use your slope and, at minimum, this 1 point, and you solve your b mathematically. Are you ready to get down and dirty with math? Pay attention. You guys are going to want to know this. So, I'm gonna do it on an empty slide. So remember this for me. -4 and 3 is my ordered pair. -2/3 is my slope. -4 and 3. I forgot my slope. What was my slope? Okay. I shouldn't write it like that. I should write it the way you'd see it, which is in the middle. Right? And for some reason this looks weird. Should be like that. Okay. Now we solve it mathematically. Do you remember our best friend? Yep. We treat that as a formula. What's a formula? Pretty simple. It's just a template. It's just telling you in order to solve something, you do whatever's there to solve that, whatever. That's a formula. A formula is a template. Whatever information you have, you put it in it, and it dishes out the answer, right? So we treat our best friend as a formula, and what we do is we get all of this info, and we just throw it into its designated area. This is what I mean. What's my m? -2/3, right? What's my x? Well, if you remember, points are written as xy, right? So my x is -4. What's my y? 3. You just get all those infos and you throw it into y = mx + b. So my final equation looks like this. Up to this point, do we all get this? You know. So, up to this point, we got it, right? Guess what? Now we use our skills of solving equations to solve for b. You're telling me you can't solve for b? Come on. You guys need this in order to pass the WMAP. Multi-step equations, right? Solve for b. Don't remember how to solve for b? Don't remember how to solve for x? Don't remember how to solve it? Well, let's review. Does this ring a bell? Split the sides, simplify each side, then flip-flop until your variable is by itself. So, is there anything to do on this side? Is there anything to do on this side? What could we do? What could we do? Holy moly, I heard like 3 different things. You want to start moving? Yeah. Remember, you got to simplify each side first. You're telling me you can't do this? -2/3 times -4?
Yeah, we can move it.
Solve it first before you move it. Solve it, solve it, solve it. Now, we do have these calculators here. Here we have a whole bunch. I recommend you using this. A for today, B for tomorrow. Because these are trusty little calculators that if you push this little button, it literally puts it in fraction form for you. Right? It's just to save time. Or you could do it by hand. We know how to multiply fractions, right? You want to do it by hand? Wanted to save time, but whatever. Negative 2/3 times negative 4. I don't worry about negatives. Why? Because my answer is just going to be negative times a negative is a what? You just always focus on the signs at the end. So 4 is just over 1. So what is 2 times 4? Remember, we just multiply across when we're multiplying fractions. What's 3 times 1? Could this be simplified? No. So guess what? My new problem so far looks like this. Okay. Now what do I do? You want to move this number, because even though it's a fraction, it's just a number, right? You want to move it over there. How do you do it? You subtract it by itself. Then you ask yourself, what's 3 minus 8 over 3? You guys want to do that by hand? Okay. 3 over 1 minus 8 over 3. What must you do? The racetrack, right? That little racetrack on the side. 1 and 3. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. Common denominator, you multiplied it by 3. Creating what? No. Oh yeah, the top, yeah. But over here, 3, creating 9 minus 8. Final answer is what? Huh? 1 over 3 equals B. Does that look like 1 over 3 right there? I could see that. I could see that. You found your B. Do you know what the final linear equation looks like for this specific line? It looks like this. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus, what was it? 1 over 3. This is the final linear equation. You put everything together. Whew! Did that make sense? One more example? So, yeah, let's do one more example. This time not with the graph, because chances are on your test, WAMAP, quiz, GEDs, actually not chances are, 100% you will be given this as a question right here. For all of you, right here. You'll literally be given a question that says this right here. Ugh. What is the linear equation? Ugh. Paper cut. These are sharp. What is the linear equation of the line that passes through the following 2 points? That's literally what it says. And either it's a fill-in-the-blank answer or a multiple choice question. It doesn't matter. If it's a multiple choice problem, you'll literally see as options linear equations. like 4 different linear equations, all with different or similar slopes and y-intercepts, right? 2 other options, let's pretend. So the question is, which one of the following linear equations passes through the following 2 points? That's literally word for word what you might see on the GED, on the wall map, on my quiz. So you use all your skills, and it's your job to find the correct M and the correct B just given those points. So let's do it. Let's find the correct linear equation. So, what must I do first? Find the slope. Remember, you need the slope first, but you also need the slope to find the b, right? So, do we remember how to find the slope when given 2 points?
We have y2 divide, no, subtract y1 over x1, x2, subtract.
Yeah, close, yeah. So, you said x1, yeah, yeah. It's y2 minus y1. So, again, I'll provide it up in the screen tomorrow's quiz. The GED provides a formula sheet. The wall map, I still don't know whether they provide a formula sheet or not. So it's good to kind of memorize this. Remember, the slope of a line formula is y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So let's find the slope. What's y2? Minus, let me do my parentheses just because I love it. I love parentheses. You guys should make a habit. What's my y1? What's my x2? What's my x1? Oh, that's a perfect example right there of why I do my parentheses. Oh, I like when things come together. Okay, let's solve this. What's 1 minus 4? Negative 4. Oh, wait, I didn't even notice that. 1 minus negative 4, what is that? You have a calculator. 5. What's 7 minus negative 3? Could that be simplified? To what? Good. This is all we did yesterday. Up until this point, that's all we did yesterday. We found our slope, right? Okay, now you get that slope. And 1 point. It doesn't matter which one. You pick which one you want to use. Little hint. I like using the point that has either a 0, a 1, or no negatives. Sometimes you're unlucky and you don't get any of those options. Both of them are big numbers. Both of them have negatives, right? You just have bad luck. Sorry. But in this specific case, which one would Neil like to use? Yeah. Right? So, like I said, you just found your slope. We're not doing anything different up until this point. Everything we've done, we did it yesterday. So, my m equals 1/2. I'm just going to write it on the side. Now I want to find my b. So, you get this, and you get 1 point. In this case, I'm using that one. And you plug it into our best friend of y equals mx plus b. And I'll write that here just for the sake of it. So, what goes where, what goes what?
We have 1 equals.
1 equals, that's done with you. You're good. Somebody else tell me what comes next. What comes next? Hey, you're done.
say?
Someone else, tell me what comes next.
No one's speaking.
Say it.
Someone say.
Say nobody say.
No one's saying anything.
What comes next? X, right? What's my X?
You're done. Why are you speaking?
7. Remember, XY, XY. Because we're using this point right here. What comes next? Yeah, we don't know B yet. That's what we're finding. So, that's what you do. Now you solve for B. What could I do?
Get separate.
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, now what?
Look up both sides.
Simplify each side? Good. Is there anything to do here?
Nope.
Is there anything to do here?
Yes.
What could I do?
The negative, no, the 1/2 times 7.
Which equals?
Don't know. My calculator doesn't have the
702.
Or 3.5
I don't have.
plus B, right? 1/2, 0.5 times 7 is the half of 7, 3.5. You could do this all by hand like we just did, or you could just, right? For some reason, students don't like it when I tell them to use a calculator. And I'm just like, okay, you want to not answer 20% of your GED? Because you're timed on your GED. Do you not want to finish your WAMAP? Because you're timed on that also.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I had a calculator.
It's just about saving time, that's all. All right, 3.5. Now what do I do? Equations. What's 1 minus 3.5?
Yeah.
Guess what? You just found your B. Because it'll be negative 2.5 equals B. Yeah, whatever. I don't know why I did that just now. So, you found it. Negative 2.5. Now, one last step. The final answer should be written in linear equation form. So, what's my final answer? You might see it in fraction form.
Yeah.
So then you just have to convert your fraction via the calculator or by hand. But or 0.5x, yeah. Chances are your slope is always going to be in fraction form. But that's pretty much it. That's your final answer. That's the linear equation. Make sense? Make sense?
That's loud.
Get 1 point, get your slope, throw it into the y equals mx plus b, and solve for b. You're solving for a variable, just like we did that whole week with the equations week. Now, with today's practice problems, column A, column B, no, sorry, row A, row B, they give you the points that you are going to use, and guess what? They already give you the slope. They made it a little easier on these two columns, which means you're just practicing your skills in this first 2 rows of getting those and putting it into y equals mx plus b, and then solving for b. That's what these first 2 rows are about. Avoid what it says. I know what it says. Use the point slope form, use the slope intercept form. We're not doing that. We're doing the same method for both rows. But then on the last row, Yes, they give it to you the way we did it, which was 2 points, which means they don't give you the slope. They give you something else. And it's your job to find the slope and then get 1 point, whichever one, and then going from there. That's the first part. The second part is using our visual trick. Visual is easy. When given a graph with a line, find me the slope, find me the b, and then write out the linear equation on the side. Y equals something x plus something. Do we got that? We ready to do this? Let's do this.